It's about Lamar. Should Lamar leave the Ravens? And will he? Well, with this one, to really put it simple, what have the Ravens been known for throughout their entire history? It's having an elite defense. They have one of the best defensive systems in the NFL. They've produced at a high level, but that offense has been some shit, and they have failed to give him consistency with weapons. And I'll be honest, if I'm sitting here and speaking on the outside of what the Ravens have, your upcoming offseason is a huge one. It's going to prove, did you mess up at the deadline trading for Roquan Smith, or did you find a core piece of that defense? I really think the Ravens will not re-sign Lamar. And that's not to say that he doesn't deserve the money. It's more of to say that I think that they're known for defense. They're known, and Roquan Smith is arguably one of the best linebackers in football. I feel like they're going to pay him, and then they're going to use whatever money they have left to rebuild that offense and finally find the right quarterback. Because, yes, Lamar's good, but are you going to break the bank for your quarterback? Seriously. If you pay Lamar, you're breaking the bank, and you can't re-sign Roquan, and then you have no linebacker there. Then your defense, because you have to re-sign Marcus Peters, you're not going to get Marcus Peters back. So is it worth losing your core defense for a quarterback? And my answer is no. When I'm looking at the Ravens' history, it's been all defense.
What do they say? Defense wins championships, and they've known to have the mecca of all defenses season after season, and it proves it. I mean, it shows they don't help Lamar by getting them weapons. They don't help Lamar by giving them a better offensive line. They invest every single year in defense, which I understand. I just don't see them dropping that kind of money on Lamar. If they did, they would have already done it. I mean, and if you think about it, he feels disrespected, and I think that's why he's going to try to play as good as he can, because he's paying for a paycheck. If it's not going to be from the Ravens, it's going to be from somebody else.
I'll be honest. I don't care how good of a quarterback you are. You're not worth more than $50 million and fully guaranteed. I don't care.
You're good,
but you have your flaws that are outweighing your ability to make $50 million. You're not worth $50 million, and that's not disrespectful. He's worth a good $40 million. That's fine. You pay him $40 million, fine. But if I'm choosing between your core defense and possibly even Justin Houston, who is having a resurgence, may I state, that guy is having an excellent year.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Lamar and then continuously have a average offense, or do you want to re-sign your entire core defense and then maybe even have extra money? I mean, God, you don't know that the Ravens, no matter what, they're not going to have money, but I'm choosing like the core of the defense. That defense has been elite, but you need to re-sign Roquan, I think, because the fact that you gave up and you went out there and got him shows that you want to win now, but you got to win for the future. And I'm not saying Lamar can't get you for the future, but there's a ton of good quarterbacks in this class. They could replace Lamar with another quarterback, but maybe a better passer. Not saying Lamar's not good, but we'll see.
I mean, they can also trade. I mean, they can also trade in the offseason for picks, or they can trade for another quarterback. Or I just feel like if they were already invested in him, they would have already made the offer this past offseason. And the fact that they didn't, I mean, just shows you their priority is not Lamar. It's not. Their priority is on their defense.
Yeah.
In what good does the offense do if you can't keep the other offense off the field? You can't play catch up all the time, and that's what they live on. They live on their defense.
What I didn't understand was, looking back on their last offseason, you got rid of Marquise Brown, who, yes, I'm fine. That was not a bad move. I'm in any way, form of the world, sure, that's not a bad move. You moved on from Sammy Watkins. So now I'm looking at that. You lost your wide receiver 1 and 2. You walk in, and your only receivers are Rashad Bateman. And then you don't even select a wide receiver in one of the more good classes.
Heavy.
What was this? This was a horrible offseason.
It was almost like, fuck you, Lamar. We're gonna invest in our defense.
I'm not saying that John Harbaugh is not a good coach, but he sucks at building this team. He's good at building the defense.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
simply can't build the team, and maybe he's better off as a defensive coordinator or something. I don't know. Whatever he needs to take a job as, but he's not a head coach because he cannot build a team. He's not making any effort to help Lamar.
he's
And then
not.
we've
I mean,
seen this. Marcus Peters has had his outbursts this year when this team has struggled. And this team has also struggled, like the Raiders, with keeping